Welcome to the Sports Minute. If you like the video this evening, please comment and share it. Please subscribe to my YouTube page, Vincent Turner 560. And I'm Vincent Turner. Today's video, or this evening's video, is about a football player that played with my favorite team in the National Football League, America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. He passed away this past weekend, but he was one of the greatest Cowboys that ever put on the silver and blue. His name was Leroy Jordan, All-American linebacker out of the University of Alabama. And I've been a Cowboys fan since I was 6 years old. I'm 65 now. That's 59 years. And one of the early Cowboys that I remember was the player Leroy Jordan. Boy, he was outstanding. But before he got to the Dallas Cowboys, we got to talk about him being at the University of Alabama playing under what some people say the greatest coach in all of college football, Paul Bear Bryant. You know, there's a saying that when you're great or when you're good or when you're loved by people, you don't have to even say nothing. People are going to speak for you. And Coach Bryant said this about Leroy Jordan when he left the University of Alabama. He said he's the finest football player I ever coached. He was the finest football player that had the best work ethic out of any football player I had at the University of Alabama. And when I remember Leroy Jordan, the first time I heard of him, this when he was playing with the Cowboys, I heard about his career in college. I remember that 31 tackle game he had against Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl in 1962, where President John F. Kennedy was in the stands. I was only 2 years old, but I read about it years later down the road. Them being a national champion in 1961 on that 61 team that had Pat Trammell, Bill Battle, Richard Williamson, former head coach at Memphis State University, Billy Neighbors, Charlie Pale, former head coach at Clemson University, and Jack Rutledge. Then Mr. Jordan moved on, became a first-round pick in the 1963 NFL draft with the Cowboys. And the rest is history. Super Bowl champion in 1971, but I'm going to talk about his skill set a little bit. As a linebacker, competitive, A+. Leadership, A+. Instincts, A+. Tackling machine, A+. The balance that needs to play middle linebacker in the National Football League, A+. I just mentioned what his coach said at Alabama. The work ethic was bar none the best on the Cowboys squad. And a model of dedication as a Dallas Cowboy for 14 years. Listen to the stats now. Over 1,236 tackles, 154 consecutive games starting, 32 interceptions, and 15 fumble recoveries. Leroy Jordan was one of the greatest football players that put on that Dallas Cowboys uniform, and don't we forget it, and don't I forget it. And not only he made his stand with the Cowboys and became a Super Bowl champion on their 71 team, Lance Alworth, Bob Lilly, Mike Ditka, Rayfield Wright, Roger Staubach, Mel Renfro, Dwayne Thomas. He's one of those special Cowboys that won that ring in 1972. But most of all, when you think about Leroy Jordan, you think about old school. You think about dirt and grime in the South. And you think about a winner and a man with class. Leroy Jordan. One day I'll be looking at you up there, and I hope I be an angel like you, my brother. So if you like the video today, please come in and share it. Please subscribe to my page, Vincent Turner 560 on YouTube, and I'm Vincent Turner. My dedication this evening as I sign off for the great Leroy Jordan. Let me thank. Very outstanding football player and a great man. Y'all be blessed this evening.